is with me discussing with BBC Essex on the 17th of October in 2008. It's about the New Street building in Chelmsford. It was at times when they were discussing whether or not Marconi's would sell the building.
Let's look at another story in our county. The group representing retired workers from the Marconi companies in Chelmsford claimed that a heritage centre to remember the firm's history, and boy oh boy what a history, without them, well, see, you wouldn't be listening to this now. The heritage centre to remember the firm's history is being ignored by developers. Although land has been set aside for the site, the Marconi veterans believe those behind the project are dragging their feet over when it's going to be actuality, when it actually happens. Peter Turrall is chairman of the Marconi Veterans Association and joins us now. Morning, Peter.
Good morning, Ray.
Well, what requests have you made regarding the heritage site for Marconi and the man that, well, made Chelmsford and revolutionised our lives?
Well, it's over 3 years ago we started working alongside a consultant to make sure we had a heritage centre in the 1912 building, the protected building at the front of New Street. We've built up a good repertoire with the developers, and they said at some time that we could have a heritage centre. Well, I had a meeting with the local borough council, including the planning director and the leader of the council, and they said, well, okay, it's all right to have a heritage centre, but you'll have to get the developer to provide it for you. Surprise, surprise, only on Thursday was I told, very late, that the developer at long last had included in the 106 agreement, that's an agreement where the Borough Council says that you've got to do things in a good order and first, they've included the Heritage Centre. The word says the developer has agreed to make available 232 square metres of floor space within the 1912 building for educational, cultural or commercial activity to maintain and exploit the Marconi heritage legacy together with start-up funding. Surprise, surprise. Start-up funding? Well, when is that going to happen? The building itself, the fabric is getting a little bit worn. The veterans themselves are getting rather old. Unless it happens very soon, I don't think we should be able to maintain the operation of Marconi Veterans Association with a heritage centre.
So what you're saying then is there just isn't enough time, and this should be done as a priority. That you should have this centre to start with before the rest of the development.
Absolutely. And I should be attending the planning meeting next Tuesday to put that point to the chairman of the planning committee.
But Peter, in these days of not much money around, and we can't escape hearing that, surely it's fair for the developers to make some money first before they spend money on history?
Absolutely. Yes, I think so. Because we've been working for 3 years with them, alongside them, to get the details together for them, and the ephemera and the actual items themselves. They were ready. But at this present time, there's no good putting them into a building if it's not prepared and ready to accept them.
So what you're calling for that to be done as a matter of priority?
As a matter of priority, yes, absolute priority. If it's not done within the next year or so, I don't think there will be enough people and enough equipment and items available to make a heritage centre, from our point of view, worthwhile.
Let's be a little cynical here, and perhaps this isn't fair, and we will get a comment that the developers have given us a little later. But just imagine a situation like this where time was running out as far as the fabric of the building was concerned, and the people that have got a vested interest here. If it were put back and back and back, could you see a possibility of it never happening at all?
Well, of course I can, because the poor old veterans, I mean, we've been out of the company now for several years, and they're getting older and older. They were going to volunteer and run the place on behalf of the Heritage Centre and providing the items. Well, the items still can be provided, but I don't think you'll find that the veterans will be there incapable of carrying out if it goes on and on. Right now, they're ready.
OK, Peter Turrall, chairman of the Marconi Veterans Association. Do it now, we're ready, he says. For the developers, Ashwell Land told BBC Essex, we fully recognise the historic significance of this key Chelmsford site and are committed to doing it justice. We're confident that after 2 years of extensive consultation with very limited levels of objection from the public, we will deliver high-quality development worthy of Marconi's legacy, and one that will give the town a fantastic boost. That's what they said.